What's up, guys? Welcome back to the ASAP Automotive channel, and today we're going to be drilling and tapping. Alright guys, so today's video, it's going to be a quick little video, but we wanted to kind of separate it out and didn't really want to pass over it real quick. So, you've technically got two computer systems when you're done with this swap. You've got one for the Jeep, which still retains the factory computer and part of the harness. That's going to give you your gauges and stuff, and then the other one for the GM harness and computer. That's going to, the sensors on, so we're going to have two coolant sensors and two oil pressure sensors on this motor. We're going to retain the factory ones for the GM stuff, and what we're going to do for the coolant sensor is here on the passenger side head, there's typically a plug in here, and it's an Allen head, socket plug or whatever. We went ahead and took it out, and what we're going to do is we're actually going to end up putting the Jeep engine coolant sensor in here. So what this will allow us to do is actually have the function of the coolant temp gauge in the Jeep to still work. So, and then the GM harness and computer, or GM computer, will still have its own coolant sensor, which is on the other head in the front. So, and then what we're going to do is after this, we're going to go ahead and do our oil pressure sensor for the Jeep gauge, and it'll be on the other side of the block, and we'll get to that in a minute. So, like I said, the existing hole is not big enough. It's a nice problem to have. So, what we're going to do is we're going to step it up to a 3/8 NTP, which is National Pipe Thread. I don't know if it's on there. So, when you're doing it, and that's what the actual Jeep sensor is. So when you're doing this, make sure that's what your actual sensor is. It might vary from year to year. Anyways, that's what ours is. So when you're drilling out, you gotta have the right size bit. There's different guides online that'll tell you, for what size and all that. So there's actually a series of bits that have an alpha character, or a letter, A through I think Q or something like that, or somewhere in there. And so there's each letter correlated to each size tap. Well, good luck finding those, and we didn't have time to go digging, so what we got was the closest to, I think this one took a Q size, if I remember correctly. You can look it up online. And what we ended up with was the closest is a 37/64 bit is what we're going to do, and we're actually going to line up and drill through here, because it's only about, I don't know, 3/8, half an inch of thread, and then it opens up into the coolant port. We're going to drill through, and then we're going to come back with a tap and go ahead and tap out our threads, and so we can put in our sensor. Now, there's three basic types of threads: standard, SAE, metric, and NTP, National Pipe Thread. So make sure that you're not getting a 3/8 standard when you go to do this, or make sure what your actual thread pitch and size is on your sensor. So that being said, a pipe thread is a tapered fit, not just a typical standard or metric tap will be the same, pretty much same diameter, except the very end where it tapers in to start cutting. This thing tapers the whole way. So you don't want to get crazy and run too deep with this tap. Just deep enough to get the threads in it, and that's all you need to do. You go too far, you end up screwing, you end up with too big of a hole, and then you're just SOL and finding another head. So that being said, we're going to go ahead and get to drilling, drill out this, and then we'll come back and start tapping. Alright guys, so we went ahead and drilled out our hole with our 37/64 bit. You want to be careful, nice and low and slow. Don't get crazy. Make sure, make sure you're good and lined up, this way and then up and down as much as possible. You're not going to get it 100%, freeing it or doing freelancing like that with a drill. But anyways, went ahead and drilled through there. You don't want to go in too quick and too high. You end up going to the other side and you hit up the back side of the coolant jacket and end up doing some damage. So just enough through to get through where the threads are, come back out, and we started our tap, and we'll go in a few threads, pull back out and check it. We can kind of clean out. Aluminum's not much of a fan if you're going in there real hot and heavy real quick and tapping, because it'll just end up trying to expand and end up cracking, and that's the last thing you want to do. So we'll go in, cut a little bit, back out, clean it out, and do that a couple of times until we get good clean threads all the way through to the back. All right, so we went in with our tap. Remember, it's one of those things you definitely want to take your time. You don't want to go in too quick, too fast, too hot. You can end up cracking the head real quick. And we were maybe getting a quarter of a turn or so each time. But what we did is kept going in and in, making sure also that we weren't going too far in to hit the back side of the coolant jacket also. So what we ended up doing was getting it deep enough that we could get at least a good 4 or 5 threads or more in there. So what we'll do is we're actually going to replace this with a new sensor, and we're going to put a little bit of thread sealant around here and put it in. So, but now everything's drilled and tapped out. We can thread the new one in, and now we have a sensor value for the coolant gauge on the original instrument cluster. So it'll be one more thing that works, keeping it more factory looking. Next thing we're going to do is we'll move on to do our oil pressure sensor. All right, guys. So there's a couple different ways you could go about this. If you've got just the regular little crossover block and you don't have the oil cooler lines like we're going to run, there's normally a little protrusion at the top where you can drill and tap into. That's normally where GM puts the oil temperature sensor, and a lot of times with these Escalades and stuff like that, they normally already come tapped for it. So, and I think they're all 1/8. Normally most oil pressure stuff is a lot of the sensors GM are like 1/8 pipe thread. So I don't quote me for sure. We don't have one right in front of me, but you might actually be able to just thread your GM or your Jeep oil sending unit right into it. You know, pull the plug out or pull the other sensor that's in there, depending on where you got your motor from, or you can go to junkyard and find one of the little blocks that's already tapped. But in this case, what we're going to try to do here is actually put a 90 on the sensor and drill in this front side and get on this port here and tap it, and then have the sensor tucked up here out of the way, and then we'll run the harness down in and plug it in so it's out away from the exhaust and frame rail and all that. So like I said, this is our particular application. Yours might vary. Novak even shows a picture as in the crossover port. Some of them even using the 90 on here to put it away. If you're running the GM block heater, which would normally go in this plug right here in the block, you can probably barely see because it's black, but there's a hex plug you can pull out there and screw in the factory GM block heater. You know, if you're up north where it's going to be really cold, we're not messing with any of that, so we're just going to go ahead and run ours like this. So we're going to go ahead and pull our oil line back off and go ahead and figure out where we're going to drill this and tap it and go from there. Alright, so got our hole drilled, threads tapped, got our 90 in there. We're going to run it in. We're going to put some thread sealant on that. Thread sealant on, we're going to go ahead and get a new oil pressure sensor too, but this one works now for just test fitting, and that'll be all nice and snug up in there out of the way of everything, and we'll go from there. So really all we got to do is just put some thread sealant on, bolt this back up on, and we're good for this part of the project. Alright guys, we're going to end it off there today. So that takes care of our couple of sensors, and hopefully one of the next things we'll be doing is working on setting this bad boy finally back down in there. In the meantime though, good job like this deserves a good Dr. Pepper. It's just what the doctor ordered, so time to crack a cold one open, and remember, stock is not an option.